For them, Big Jim had been in his office the whole time.
With no concrete evidence and both suspects with an alibi, the troopers come up empty-handed. No charges are ever filed against Sheriff White or Jim Howard. The Baker family is devastated. Tom Baker's wife is left a widow, 9 months pregnant, with only a photograph of her husband taken just seconds before his death as consolation.
My grandmother was pregnant at the time of his assassination, and my father was born 10 days after the death of his father.
Now both leaders of the Baker clan, Baldy George and Tom, are dead. And the rest of the family is left to pick up the pieces. With no one left to stoke the fire of dispute, the feuding subsides.
The murder of Bad Tom Baker signaled a downturn, the decline, the gradual decline of the feud.
But the question remains, who killed Tom Baker?
The killers of those days had two tendencies. One, they tended to become preachers once they put their weapons down. And second, they tended to deathbed confessions.
In fact, Tom Baker's killer does confess his crime on his deathbed. But his confession isn't revealed for almost another 100 years.
You're watching Clay County War. You're watching Clay County War here on the History Channel.
For more than a century, the Clay County War has haunted the once peaceful hills of the Kentucky Appalachia. But with most family elders dead and buried, the feud has died down too. Yet questions still remain. Was Abner Baker truly insane? Did William Baker really go to the gallows to protect his wife? To this day, the answers to those questions remain a mystery. But there is one mystery that has been solved. Who pulled the trigger on Tom Baker? In 1984, the Louisville Courier-Journal receives a letter describing the shocking deathbed confession of a man named Chad Hall.
As Chad lay dying, he said, "I want to tell you something. I want to get it off my chest. I killed Bad Tom Baker, and I'll tell you how I did it. I went in through the back window, found the rifle. I couldn't be seen, but I zeroed the rifle in on the flap of the tent where Tom was going to be. I put the rifle back on the bed, went out the back window, and joined some people who were walking home. And so Chad was standing there, innocent bystander, looking down on Tom, who he said he had just shot."
Chad Hall's confession ends more than a century of speculation and closes the final chapter in this bloody war. But to this day, no one knows what motivated him. Still, the repercussions of all this violence takes its toll.
I think it probably retarded industrial development of the county. They wanted a railroad in here.
But no railroad would risk running through Clay County with its lawless reputation. In its darkest hour, Clay County simply collapses in upon itself. Local lore says that by the turn of the century, there are only 3 eligible women left in town. while the number of men of marrying age dwindles down to almost nothing.
My father's family found that there was no more industry, nothing to be profitable in the county, with so many of the young men killed and so many of the young men sent out of the county just for their safety.
No one knows exactly how many lives the Clay County War claimed, but the number of dead ranges from 50 to 200.
I would estimate that 150 is a pretty good figure, but there were just too many people not reported.
There was feuds and murders between the Bakers and the Howards and the Whites all up until my generation came along.
I think the turning point was World War II. That stopped the feuding. People either went to the military service or they went to a defense plant to work. And a lot of people have left and settled in other states.
On June 17th, 2001, the Whites held a family reunion. They came together to remember the legacy of their past and the promise of their future.
I've had a legacy and a history of a family that's been successful and that was respected and got along with other people, and I think it's really been a great influence on people today, even being born white.
That very same weekend, the Bakers hold a reunion of their own. And like the Whites, their family loyalty runs deep.
I'm proud to be a Baker, and I thank God that I inherited that DNA, those little tiny strands that make me who I am today.
You know, it's as much a part of us as our red hair, curly hair, whatever. It's what made us what we are. We're not just hill people, you know. We have a good heritage, and the feuds are part of it.
Today, the fallen rest in peace, but their tombstones stand as reminders of a violent past.
I'm the granddaughter of Tom Baker, Sr., who was assassinated on the courthouse lawn in June of 1899. I really still resent the fact that my father had to leave the county and that his grandfather wasn't allowed to become an adult. He was only a young man.
I descend from Sheriff William White and Katie White. I'm their great-grandson. I don't think there's any grudges as far now as the Clay County War is concerned, but it's something that still runs back through your mind when you see someone that you know is connected with another family.
But not everyone is so forgiving.
I don't know a lot about the Whites today because I'm not comfortable around the Whites. Not that I harbor ill will, but I still don't trust them. I want to see where both their hands are all the time.
Clearly, it takes time to heal old wounds. But although grudges may die hard, today the people of Clay County are alive and well, having learned the bitter lessons of the past.
They all, on both sides, remember just how bad a feud can be. What is it? If you don't know your history, you're condemned to repeat it.
Tonight on Modern Marvels Wednesday.